So this has been an extremely challenging budget to write. We know that Washingtonians rely on the state government for many services and supports, including quality K-12 education, health care, food assistance, housing stability, and many more.
Democrats in the Washington State Senate have rolled out its latest budget proposal for $7.9 billion, including $2.3 billion in new spending on health care and other public services like K-12 education. Senate Democrats say $750 million will come from the state's so-called rainy day fund, with the rest coming out of a proposed millionaire tax for those making over $1 million annually. Some senators are worried about the future effects that the Trump administration's cuts could have on our state budget, so they're planning accordingly.
So with all that in mind, we have worked in this budget to mitigate the effects of H.R. 1 and other reductions that have come from Washington, D.C. So we're trying to help people maintain health care, food assistance, the basics, long-term care. But we know that our rural hospitals, our community health centers, and healthcare providers in general are facing a very uncertain future.
Along with facing more scaling back of federal funds, state leaders say the costs of many of the state services have sharply risen to $3.7 billion in maintenance fees over the past year due to demand and rising inflation.
All of those services that people depend on, the costs continue to rise. In some cases, it's because more people are using those services. In some cases, it's just because of inflation and other pressures of continuing to provide the services. So we're faced with flat, at best, revenue and rising costs of providing services.
Meanwhile, legislative Republicans are blasting the budget, opposing dipping into the state's rainy day fund, and saying that it doesn't do enough to cut spending, which they believe is the reason for the state's deficit in the first place. However, Senate Democrats point out that this budget does not raise or create any new taxes.
The proposal in front of us does not include any broad-based tax increases. There are no increases to sales tax, property tax, or B&O tax. Just again laying out that all of these decisions that are contained in this proposal were challenging, they were difficult, they were made with thought and care, trying to set us on a path for steady growth and stability in the future while doing our best to maintain services for the people of our state.